I believe the Kevin De Bruyne you are talking of is from 2 seasons ago. There was no one even close to him, bruv.
He's 30 years old still.
Some people... the peak's at 27, Jay.
That's coming out your mouth right now, you're speaking like he's 36.
Yes, people, Stevo the Madman here. Welcome to In Defence Of, brought to you by Joe. Now, stepping up to the away end today is a guy that I would consider one of the best footballers of my generation. He's travelled the world playing football, played in Italy, played in Japan, played for his country. He's a good footballer. Stepping up to the away end today is my friend, Jay Bothroyd! My brother, looking like $1 million today.
You're looking nice too.
How have you been?
I've been good, man. I've been good. Come back in December from Japan, like you said. Just enjoying family life, playing a bit of golf.
When you're looking back on your career and the decisions you've made, like you went to Italy at 21, like when you was at Arsenal, probably one of the best young footballers in the country, and you said, you know what, I'm off to how when you look back on fond memories?
Yeah, I look back at my career and I feel like I've had a good career. You know, when you're in the playground, when you're young, you say to me, what do you want to do in your career? What do you want to be? For me, I always want to be a Premier League footballer, you know, play for your country, play in Europe. And for me, I've achieved that. I'm happy, man. And, you know, I'm back now and, you know, I've got a supportive family and enjoying life, you know. You're back now, and the first thing you've done is you've come here with a debate and trying to mug me off. But what have you come to my gaff to discuss today? Kevin De Bruyne is still the best midfielder in the Premier League. He's been away. He's been away. Yeah, of course. I don't believe that, by the way. I don't believe that, but before we get into it, you got up to 60 seconds to go over to the podium, bring your points to the forefront, and then we'll come back over here and we'll really deep dive into it, all right? Okay. Cool. De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne is currently still the best midfielder in the Premier League. This guy is just special. He's a Rolls Royce on the field. He was in Team of the Decade. Being a forward, I would love to have someone like that behind me because I know as soon as I make a movement, he's going to find me. He can shoot with his right foot, left foot. He can cross the ball like no other. He's box to box. He's won 3 league titles, 1 FA Cup, 5 League Cups. We can't question how special this guy is. And I can't wait to debate Stevo. Jay Bothroyd, boffin, bit of a football boffin, are you? But here's what I think. Kevin De Bruyne is not currently still the best midfielder in the Premier League. Start the clock. Brother, I think you are living in the past. I think 2 seasons ago, he was the best midfielder in the Premier League. Ability, statistically, everything. Every box got ticked. But recently, the last few years, for me, there's just something missing. And I don't think it's anything to do with his ability. I just think, I don't know if he could be counted on, and I don't know if I like that. But we'll talk about that. Then there's the fact that there's players outperforming him in the Premier League this season. Fernandes, Ward-Prowse. Ward-Prowse is outperforming him statistically. Maybe the eye test will tell us different again. We'll talk about it, bro. And then there's Declan Rice, man. When you're talking about midfielders, special talents, people that are there, engage with their fans and just Royal the Rovers, butcher shit. Declan's there, and I just don't know if the red-faced assassin has got what it takes to actually get the team by the scruff of the neck and take them to this Champions League that they desperately need to win. But, brother, let's talk about it. Jay, I respect you, man. I really do. I've respected you since I was a kid. But, bro, I believe the Kevin De Bruyne you are talking of is from 2 seasons ago. I really believe it. I believe that De Bruyne that we knew that was ripping up the Prem was killing it. He was leaps and bounds beyond everyone. There was no one even close to him, bruv. He's 30 years old still. Some people... the peak's at 27, Jay.
That's coming out of your mouth right now, you're speaking like he's 36. He's still in his peak years.
He
They're still ahead
plays
of him.
like he's 36 in the sense of he's always injured.
It might look like it.
He looks like
But
it. He runs like it.
Now, he had a broken cheekbone in the Champions League final. You try playing with a broken cheekbone. You can't even breathe.
I have as it goes.
When?
Five-a-side. Trust me, geezer coming real hard on me. I'm sure it was broke. Didn't even go hospital. I don't even know because I carried on life.
I don't think we can really argue about it when we talk about the best team. If you talk about the best team in real life or on FIFA, anything you want, champ man from our era, he's one of the best.
Yeah, no, he's there and he's... Listen, I have to state for the people, here's my thing. I think it's the passion. Because then I even see him later on go with his country to the Euros. And even then he's like half-heartedly not playing. I don't know if it's a mental thing, because it can't be, because he's still playing at the top level, scoring important goals against the biggest teams, turning up. I just don't know.
When we talk about passion, are you talking about the English game? Mm-hmm. Okay, so when we talk about passion, our era.
Yep.
Zidane. Mm-hmm. Did he look passionate?
Mate, he headbutted a geezer for slating his mum in the final.
Right, okay. Right. That was emotions. Okay, right.
But I know what you mean.
Scholes.
Yeah.
Like, there's certain
He's in
players
that ilk, yeah.
Yeah, there's certain players that have passion. There's certain players just kind of don't have that passion, but they still lead by example. For me, he's one of those players. He's not he's not a luxury player that doesn't work hard, that just wants the ball when it's easy.
Well, yeah.
He gets the ball in difficult scenarios.
That's what I can't argue
he wants it all the time. He's always comfortable to receive it. And, he's been injured for a part of this season, but since he's come back, he's scoring some important goals. Like these few weeks, even, with Man City, they haven't been on top form, but he's always doing something.
I think Foden
to
could
me,
be that one.
Yeah, to me, he's going to be the one that steps into that kind of Kevin De Bruyne role in the next few years. But right now, Kevin De Bruyne is still the best. I'm saying in the Premier League, for me, he's the best in the world.
But then there's just the eye test and football. I like what you said there. Now, find me a better passer. I can't. Find me a better striker of the ball. I can't. Find me someone that can get the ball from their third and literally run the length like Yaya used to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like that.
Not many people wow, I'm answering all the questions here, but I'm being honest. It's crazy because there's not much that he's missing, but this brings me on to my next point. And the next point for me is, I look at a Declan Rice, and although I know he ain't got the ability of De Bruyne, I look at him at the half-time, or I look at him during games, or when we just had a shot, and he's getting the crowd, come on. Like, that level of passion that De Bruyne definitely doesn't have, because I've interviewed him, and as I say, he's a calm, normal youth, brother, you know what I mean? I think, and this comes down to preference, I think, but I think I prefer the Raw of the Rovers sort of geezer, Gerrard, scruff of the neck, and he does that in a different way. But when City ain't got the ball and it ain't going too well for City, and then he gets stifled out, I believe. And that's maybe what it is.
Do you know what?
Maybe I'm right, I don't know.
When you speak about Declan Rice...
What do you think of him?
I love Declan Rice. I have to be honest with you. And at the beginning, when he first started playing regularly, I just heard people speaking about this guy, and I was like, is he really this good? So then, obviously, now I think, okay, now I'm going to watch him. I rarely see him have a bad game.
It's mad.
I rarely see him have a bad game, but again, he's the guy that you have behind Kevin De Bruyne.
So,
unfortunately, I know you're a West Ham fan, so unfortunately for you, I think it's going to be really, really difficult to keep him. But he is, I mean, for me, in that position, we were talking about the 4, the 6, whatever you want to call it, for me, he has the potential to be the best in the world in that position.
Although Dec and De Bruyne are different positions, I'm just talking now what they bring to the team as a whole. Whether, like, what Harry Kane brings to a team, like, so no matter what position you're in, so what do you bring to your team? And as I say, if I'm in the final of the Champions League, World Cup, whatever, I want to know I can look around and I look at that guy and I'm like, yeah, he's here for the... I don't know if De Bruyne's got that. I think you look at a Dec and you're like, woohoo, I'm running through that brick wall with you. De Bruyne, these little injuries we talk of, you might know more than me, but it's like, how many of them are, I could have played through it, or, sorry, Gaffer, what do you want me to do, Gaffer? You know them guys there. Look, you can see, well, I know I can see, Kev, but I'm saying, can you play through it? Can you strap it up?
I've been in that situation, you know. I played in the playoff final. I knew I had an injury 10 days before in the semi-final.
Interesting.
I hurt myself. I didn't train for 10 days, but I really wanted to play. I go on the pitch, after 10 minutes, I felt my calf again. I knew that I couldn't play on. And I think in that moment, it was my decision, but I was thinking to myself, I'm a passenger now. Like, if you pass the ball to me, I can still pass, I can still like hit balls. But if you want me to sprint and move around, I can't. So for me in that moment, you know, I wanted to stay on. I was desperate to stay on. I wanted to take Cardiff up. But I knew that I was a passenger, so I said to the manager, listen, I can't continue. And it's not like it's an ankle or you put like an injection into your joint and you can get through it, or a broken toe, because you can get through that. When it's a muscle injury, you can't. You can't have a steroid injection into your muscle.
Did you come off?
Yeah, I come off, yeah.
So, and then I guess to someone like me, it's like, oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Fun, yeah.
And do you know what? I did get that on Twitter. But then I just have to put my scan out there and say, listen, it was a grade 2 tear. What can I do about that? It can happen. I hear you when you talk about Declan Rice's passion, because I see that. And I like that, actually. I like that, because our era, we grew up and Gerrard,
that's what it
Keane,
was.
Vieira, Petit, like all these kind of top Makaleli, like all these midfielders that played with their, you know, their heart on their sleeve. But I think nowadays, like we was talking about before, the game's changed.
Game's changed, man.
You can't even touch someone without getting a yellow card no more. You know, so I think when you look at Kevin De Bruyne, he's played into another era, which is kind of this era now. He's 30 years old. But I think these are still his peak years, Stevo.
Ropes, boy. Ropes, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. But I just feel sometimes, and the same, this is the Harry Kane argument, and I do know it's a team game, especially Liverpool will show you that. Although Salah, you do have a linchpin, it's gonna take you on to win leagues and cups and all of that. De Bruyne, that Champions League, now they've won League Cups, Mickey Mouse League Cup, one tough Premier League, to be honest with you. But it's that Champions League, man. Like, I remember, as I say, semi-finals, quarter-finals, where it's just like, yo, Kev, come on now.
Listen, there are players out there that are going to be as good, or if not better than him. I would talk about Pedri at Barcelona. I would talk about Foden. You know, maybe De Jong maybe him in the future. But right now, when we talk about midfielders, I just think that no one can touch him.
Is this because there's no one there? When we're talking of, and we touched on it earlier, but when we're talking of, okay, so who's his competition in that position? Kante's too deep, Salah's too that way. Who's in his position? Mount?
You look at all these players, when they've been like kind of box to box, David Silva, for example, he ends up being like the number 10 now, the one in the hole. Like Coutinho, he plays off the left, but he's always in that kind of hole. You know, so for me, there's no one that can touch him. Like attributes-wise, left foot, right foot, set pieces.
Jay, you know what? I haven't got a big ego, and I'm not afraid to say when someone changes my mind, although I didn't think that De Bruyne was a bad player. I don't think he's a bad player, but we have established there's not much competition in his position when you're looking around the world. You'd have to put like a Thomas Muller, and it's like,
But we were talking about Salah as well. How you feel about Kevin De Bruyne is how I feel about Salah.
There's something like...
There's something that just doesn't make... That's like, Salah... Like, I understand it, what you're going to say, stats, and, you know, he's scoring ridiculous goals, but if you say to me, would I like to play as a striker with him? No. I wouldn't. Because I know that I'm not going to be able to score goals, because anytime he's around the box, he's shooting. He's thinking about shooting. He's even arguing with his own teammates.
Man, it's all right, cool. De Bruyne, though. Yeah, man, I'll have to agree with you and have to say that De Bruyne is still, currently still, the best midfielder in the Premier League, brother. Well done, mate. Well done. Yeah, I'm gonna keep watching it. I'm watching Foden because he's not far. It's just Foden's. Then he'll be there. You know what I mean? But
Foden's ready to eclipse in, I'd say, definitely 2 years.
Yeah.
I'd say Foden would be the first name on the team sheet.
There you go, people. Wow. Do you agree? Obviously, you agree. See, it's easy, but there's something. What's missing for me? What is my ek? What's my little thing I don't like about De Bruyne? Leave your answers in the comments. Tell me what it is. Do you feel the same? Do you agree with me? Do you agree with Jay? Pleasure having you down there, brother.
Great to be here,
Thank you. As always, this has been In Defence Of with me, Stevo the Madman, brought to you by Joe. Until next time.